Hello everyone and welcome to the first race of the mock season here in the NSDCA. It is the 1997 Twin 125's in the Winston Cup Series from back in the day. The ratings on these cars are from the actual standings of the races, and that's how it will be for all three series this season. You see the starting grid, as I will just pause it right here. Mark Martin and Jeremy Mayfield on row 1 with Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd row 2. Ted Musgrave and Jeff Burton row 3, your Busch Clash winner Ward Burton and Johnny Andretti row 4, or Bobby Hamilton row 4, and then Brett Bodine, Dale Jarrett row 5, Rick Mast and Mike Skinner in row 6. Row 7 is Ernie Irvin and Joe Nemechek. Row 8, Bobby Labonte and Mike Wallace. Row 9, Dick Trickle, Jeff Bodine, and row 10, Derek Cope, Sachs. Row 11, Robert Presley and Jimmy Spencer. Row 12, Bobby Hill and Giller Jr. and Billy Standridge. Coming around, we will be getting the green flag this time by. It is Mark Martin on the pole, and it is 24 drivers, I believe, in this duel. This is the same track that the NSDCA Mountain Dew Custom Series and Crown Royal Truck Series will be heading to at the season opening next season, so I hope you guys do enjoy this race. Coming on down, Mark Martin, Jeremy Mayfield lead us down, Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd row 2, and we are going to be going green. It's a 20-lap duel. Green flag is in the air here at the first of the Twin 125's. Mark Martin leads us down. Mayfield hanging strong on that outside line. Down this front straightaway into turn 1. Rick Mast already making a move, looking 3 wide, but it's going to be the same 2x2 coming through the corner. And now the 4. There is the 4 of Sterling Marlin making the move right up behind Mark Martin, coming off of the corners, spreading out 2 and 3 wide. Here, down the back, straight away, and they're all rushing down into turn number 1. 3x3, Mark Martin will maintain the race lead. Ted Musgrave will get shuffled out 3 wide, but Jeremy Mayfield fighting on the inside. Sterling Marlin now pushing the number 6 of Mark Martin through the corner. They go, coming off onto the front straightaway, coming to lap number 2, and it is Mark Martin going to lead lap number 1 in the Twin 125. Back there in third, Ward Burton in the Busch Clash was pushed past both Mark Martin and Ted Musgrave by their teammate and his younger brother Jeff Burton for the win, coming out of 4 that time around. So now, Mark Martin out in front, Ward Burton moving up to 3rd. Now Brett Bodine, I apologize, in that 11. He's moving up to that 4th position on the inside line. Sterling Marlin now looks down to the inside with Ward Burton, Jeremy Mayfield following him, and Mark Martin gets shuffled out to that outside line. Sterling Marlin leading him around. Ward Burton into 2nd. Mayfield up to 3rd. 3x3 further back, but a lot of cars starting to fall off the back of the pack. You see further back, that is Bobby Hill and Jr. in that Jasper Engine 77. The Haynes 78 of Billy Standridge. Greg Sachs, Jimmy Spencer, Robert Presley, Mike Wallace all struggling. There's your 1999 Daytona 500 winner, Derek Cope, sitting back here in the 18th position. Rest of the field going on around it is Sterling Marlin holding this race lead over Ward Burton, Mark Martin, Mayfield, and Brett Bodine pushing those guys. That is your top 5 with Rick Mast kind of getting shoved outside on the inside line. And now here comes Ricky Rudd. He's going to look to the inside in that 10 car going 3 wide there. Mark Martin hanging out on that outside line, still trying to hold that power. Hold the power down in that number 6 car. Ward Burton on the inside, trying to hang on, trying to side draft, but that outside line is going to work, and Mark Martin will be able to pull past Ward Burton, heading down into turn number 1. That he will, so you guys can see the outside line will be a place to work at in the Daytona, in the Valvoline 200 and Crown Royal 300 next season in the NSDCA again if we get there. Ward Burton up to 3rd. He's there. Ricky Rudd now pushing in that Tide detergent number 10, being pushed by Brett Bodine. Now it will be Bobby Hamilton, that 43 moving to the bottom, but Mark Martin takes the race lead right back from Sterling Marlin. The field spreading around. It's pretty calm up front. It's been a calm practice session for these guys, and now Marlin's going to duck right back to the inside on Mark, side by side coming to lap number 5. Down the front straightaway, you see everyone. Right now, the top 14 drivers in this field will lock their way into the Daytona 500. Mike Skinner starts the Daytona 500 on pole. You see him back there in that 31 Lowe's Chevrolet. And Steve Grissom pulled 2nd, the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500 by qualifying on Daytona qualifying day on Sunday. Now Ricky Rudd back to the inside. He's going for the race lead on Sterling Marlin with Mark Martin pushing them. You see Jeremy Mayfield and Bobby Hamilton still back there. Rick Mast kind of going up the track. Jeff Burton being pushed by Joe Nemechek. And now Ricky Rudd up to that first position. And Peter, for Grissom Howe, that's how they started the 1997 Daytona 500. The duel is the lineup from the Daytona duels, and the front row is the same one from the 1997 Daytona 500. Skinner and Grissom started on the front row there after qualifying. Now down the back straightaway, Mark Martin trying to get pushed by Jeremy Mayfield. Mayfield is having none of it. See Rick Mast in that 75 back there. He needs to race his way into the Daytona 500. He has Jeff Burton, Bobby Labonte pushing him behind. Ted Musgrave now gets sent up 3 wide. Sterling Marlin trying to keep that outside line going. Ricky Rudd holding that race lead pretty strong, and now Marlin's going to try to bring that outside line right back up on the outside of Martin with Ward Burton pushing him. Ricky Rudd now going to try to pull them to the front as Mark has no pushing help from Jeremy Mayfield. Rick Mast, very little, I should say, but Marlin now fighting back on that outside line with Ward Burton. And there is Bobby Hamilton, Rick Mast, Jeff Burton right behind him. Ricky Rudd down the back straightaway. He is out in front, but you see that inside line has no one pushing them, and you see further back a lot of cars starting to fall away from that race lead front pack. Now Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets shoved up the track in that 43 all the way up outside. Jeff Burton, Brett Bodine, and Mike Skinner there as well. Bobby Hamilton, Bobby Labonte in that 18, I should say, and Joe Nemechek, Dale Jarrett, and Ernie Irvin, your top 14. All 14 of those drivers would be racing their way into the Daytona 500. Ricky Rudd out in front with Mark Martin all over the back of him. And you see Sterling Marlin now. He's going to get back down into third position. So this outside line does definitely work here at Daytona. He's been able to hang on in this top 5 all race long. Top 4 now going to get out single file. Jeff Burton, as we said, he was the driver that pushed brother Ward to the win in the Busch Clash around both of his teammates. Jack Roush, of course, did not take too kindly to that. But now Burton on the inside as Sterling Marlin gets to the inside with Jeremy Mayfield, and Rick Mast inside this top 5 with the rest of the field still racing around. Top 14, no contest between them. And it is Ricky Rudd leading around lap number 9 here at Daytona. Mark Martin trying to push him on that outside line. There's just nothing there. Jeff Burton further back. He is going to duck to the inside of Ward. No, he won't. He'll let his older brother, I should say, get back in line, pushes him right on up. But it is now Sterling Marlin taking the race lead here at Daytona. Jeremy Mayfield in this 37 team, the Kmart RC Cola 37. You can see how dated these cars are. 1997. Neither of these brands are real popular anymore. Well, Kmart's pretty much gone. But both of them fighting up here. That's for second. A lot of cars walking up the track there. Mike Skinner in that 31. See further back in that 7th position. Skinner just needs to survive this race. If he survives this race, he starts on pole for the Daytona 500. Now the top 14 right in a row, and Ricky Rudd is going to go back into that 2nd position. Let's get a rear bumper cam as Sterling Marlin leads over Rudd. Is that tied? No, Ford Thunderbird now going to bring the momentum, dives to the inside. He's trying to get Jeremy Mayfield with him. And there you see Ricky Rudd. He will get to the inside. That number 10 tied Ford Thunderbird. And now Jeremy Mayfield, the other Ford, up here will push him around as well. Rick Mast is maintaining a run in that 4th position. A great underdog story right now for the 75 team as he's fighting for that 4th position with Ward Burton. Mark Martin being shuffled up to the outside. Ted Musgrave as well in that 16 car. He's down there on that inside line. Ricky Rudd now out in front. Marlin trying to hang on the outside with no help whatsoever. Your 1993 and 1994 Daytona 500 champion for Morgan McClure Racing. Ward Burton, huge move down to the inside. Ted Musgrave is going to go down and try to pick him up. Jeremy Mayfield now getting shoved 3 wide possibly. And that he will getting into the corner. And now Ward Burton is going to bring himself up to 2nd. Can he win the Busch Clash and his duel in only a span of 4 days? The driver we haven't talked about up front here, Joe Nemechek. He's back in that 12th position in that Bell South number 42. He is trying to get up there. He wants to make sure he can make the Daytona 500. He does not have qualifying results or points to fall back on if he has to race his way into the, or if he misses it, not finishing inside the top 14. So that's pretty much what he has to do. He has to finish inside this top 14 so he could make the Daytona 500 for Felix Sabates, Chip Ganassi Racing. Ward Burton has Ted Musgrave, and now you see Bobby Hamilton with Bobby Labonte on the inside. 4 drivers nose to tail as Ricky Rudd continues to lead here at Daytona. Rudd has led most of these laps so far. Sterling Marlin, the other one, fighting with him. And you see Sterling, he's even using the very outside line, and they both pass the inside line. So really, any line can work here at Daytona. Why do you think I picked this track? Mayfield now down 3 wide into the corner. Huge move on Rudd and Ward Burton. Sterling Marlin now in that 4 car, and he dives down back to the inside line. Jeremy Mayfield for the race lead down the back straightaway. So the top 14 have pulled away. Let's take a look at the slower cars. There's Bobby Hillin Jr. He has the 6th fastest qualifying time in the entire field, and he's running this slow, so the 77 team is looking just to survive this race. He should have a time to fall back on. You also see Greg Sachs and Billy Standridge further back, as well as Mike Wallace and Jimmy Spencer nose to tail. Then there is the number 7 of Jeff Bodine, Derek Cope, Robert Presley, and Dick Trickle in that field, but the top 14 are pulling away, making this not a contest for that further back spot. Sterling Marlin now for Morgan McClure back to the inside on the 37. Down the back straightaway once again, you see all 14 cars in this front group. As long as they don't crash themselves, they should do it. But remember, they are trying to fight for starting spots in the Daytona 500. Mayfield could have been taken 4 wide there. Ward Burton really pushing him down. And now you see the Roush trio, Ted Musgrave, Jeff Burton, and Mark Martin on that inside line, trying to make the move back up to the front in this race. Ted Musgrave on the inside with Jeff Burton and Mark Martin. Ricky Rudd out into second. Rudd has been holding strong on that outside line, and it looks like he's going to clear the rest of the pack. So now Rudd will be the one chasing down Sterling Marlin, trying to get that Roush power behind him with all those Fords working together. But it's the Chevy of Sterling Marlin maintaining the race lead. Rudd now pulling away. Top 2 are leaving. Ted Musgrave back there in third. Jeff Burton now has Mark Martin. He has Bobby Labonte pushing right behind him. And there they go. Ricky Rudd down to the inside here as Sterling Marlin drops to the outside. Ted Musgrave now getting himself up into the mix up there in that 3rd position. Very good super speedway racer, as we've seen. He almost won the Clash. He almost won, and while he could win this duel, he was one of the fastest in practice and qualifying. So right now the 16 team doing very well. Jeremy Mayfield looks back to the inside as the rest of the field behind them starting to get down to 2 wide, single file. And now Ricky Rudd on the inside. Marlin has Musgrave on the outside. Who's going to be able to win it coming down the back straightaway? Mayfield does not go with him. Burton, Martin, and Rick Mast are all going to line up on the inside. Ted Musgrave pushes down. And here comes Mayfield right back with Marlin fighting on that outside line. But here comes Jeremy Mayfield. Ward Burton in that 22. He's there as well. And you see Ernie Irvin right now with Dale Jarrett. The 2 Robert Yates entries, 14th and 15th in this field. They are 3x3 right there. Sterling Marlin on the outside. Rudd and Jeremy Mayfield with Jeff Burton now looking for a top 5 run in that 99. You see Mark Martin, the driver that Burton pushed his brother past to win the Busch Clash. Right there, right behind his teammate Jeff. Musgrave on the outside. Let's talk about another driver. Brett Bodine in this 11 team running for his own entry. Just like brother Jeff, right now this 11 team moving up towards the front, trying to get as high of a starting spot as he can, looking for a top 10 run. That could get him 19th in the Daytona 500 as they run. Mike Skinner still in that 31. What a save there. Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett almost get together coming off of the corner. They saved it. Mayfield now look at Rudd and Marlin, the 2 drivers who have dominated this race. We'll go to the helicopter cam. You can see them making a move on that outside line. Ted Musgrave now gets shuffled to the outside. Rudd and Marlin have been the fastest this entire race, and now they are looking to try to hang on with Jeremy Mayfield coming down with only 2 to go, this time by 2x2x2 up front. Rudd hanging out on that outside. Marlin, now Rick Mast jumped up there to help him. Bobby Hamilton and Ward Burton a little further back, but those 2 Pontiacs could make their move towards the front. Mayfield on the outside, Burton on the inside. Both of them on the inside, Rudd and Marlin on the outside, and it will be Ricky Rudd leading that lap with that outside line. 2x2x2x2, the Roush entries of Burton and Martin still down on that inside, but now Brett Bodine shuffles Martin out. They go 3 wide, Marlin and Rudd on the outside, Mayfield and Burton On the inside, it's a two-car pushing force up front with Brett Bodine, Ward Burton, Ted Musgrave now on the inside. Joe Nemechek jumps down with Ernie Irvan. Mayfield now, it looks like he will get jumped as Jeff Burton makes the move down to the inside of him. And Ricky Rudd trying to hang on now. Him and Marlin get shuffled 3 wide. Ooh, Nemechek real close to Bobby Labonte there. And off of the corner, huge push by Sterling Marlin past Ricky Rudd. Or huge push from Marlin past everyone else. Rudd to the lead. White flag in the first Twin 125. Rudd now to the race lead. Marlin in second. The 2 fastest all race long are now going to be dueling for this win as they're starting to pull away here at Daytona. Burton and Mayfield now side by side. Further back, there is Bobby Hillin Jr. I don't think he'll be close enough. Marlin down to the inside. Side by side, who has the momentum? Marlin does. Rudd on the outside, Marlin on the inside, into turn number 3 and 4. 3 by 3 further behind, but Sterling Marlin got to the inside of Rudd, and it will be Marlin pulling into the race lead. Ward Burton up to third. Jeff Burton fourth. Rudd down to the inside. It's not going to be enough. Sterling Marlin will win the first Twin 125. And the rule for 1997, with Sterling Marlin winning, the rule in 1997 with the duels was the first 14 drivers who did not start on the front row get locked in. And since Mike Skinner finished, I believe, Mike Skinner finished 13th, that means Dale Jarrett and Ernie Irvan both will be in the Daytona 500. All 15 of these top drivers will be making the Daytona 500. And all those drivers will have to rely on the qualifying time or points provisionals. This was a replay, so that's why it stopped right here. Let's go ahead and go now to the Twin 125 of duel number 2. Sam, I can't really scream right now. I'm sorry. All right, on to duel number 2. Let's try to get this up to where they are racing. There they are. Okay, so Bill Elliott and Terry Labonte lead us down on row 1 with Ricky Craven and Darrell Waltrip in row 2, Jeff Gordon and Robbie Gordon row 3, Dave Marcus and Lake Speed row 4, row 5 Morgan Shepherd and Hut Strickland, row 6 Kyle Petty and Kenny Wallace, row 7 Loy Allen Jr. and Johnny Andretti, row 8 Johnny Benson and the Intimidator Dale Earnhardt, row 9 Rusty Wallace and Ken Schrader, row 10 Michael Waltrip and Steve Grissom, row 11 David Green and Wally Dallenbach Jr., and row 12 is Chad Little. So here we go. It is now another 20-car driver, or a 20-lap race with 23 drivers. 5 drivers will go home from the Daytona 500. Of course, in 1997, they had about 60 people in that field, and there were not those 60 cars painted, so we're making do. Bill Elliott and Terry Labonte lead us down, coming around to the green flag. We are racing, and Bill Elliott leads us down. Green flag is in the air for Twin 125, number 2. Bill Elliott on the outside, and you already see the Hendrick duo, Ricky Craven, Jeff Gordon, some of the best at Daytona with Terry Labonte on the outside. That Hendrick trio could be your dominating racers today. And now Bill Elliott will get himself out into the race lead. Robbie Gordon back there in 6th, 2 by 2 by 2, and already Wally Dallenbach starting to fall off the back of the field. Ricky Craven down to the inside. He has Jeff Gordon pushing him, Dave Marcus. There's Morgan Shepherd, Kyle Petty. Lake Speed in that number 9. He's going to jump down to the inside as they head into turn number 3. Fly by the field right there. All 23 cars rushing. Ricky Craven now on the inside. He has Jeff Gordon right behind him. Dave Marcus in that 71. Going down the front straightaway they go. 3 cars already starting to fall off the back. David Green, Chad Little, and Wally Dallenbach Jr. It will be Ricky Craven leading lap number 1 here at Daytona. Jeff Gordon jumping to the inside. Dave Marcus, look at that 71 driver. He is up there into the 3rd position trying to race his way into the 500, and he's doing it skillfully up to 2nd now. Loy Allen Jr. in that 19. He's a rookie here. He's trying to make his move, but you see Dale Earnhardt Sr. He started back in that 18th position trying to make his move towards the front. The Intimidator never won a Daytona 500. It's been 19 years of trying that will be at this coming Daytona 500 since he tried to win a Daytona 500, still has not gotten there. but he is still going to try to race his way in. Jeff Gordon now out in front. You see back there in second, Dave Marcus being mugged by the Hendrick duo of Terry Labonte and Ricky Craven. 3x3 already more exciting than the first duel. These guys are starting to stay 3x3x3. Terry Labonte now going to move himself up to that second position, trying to chase down Jeff Gordon, who has a very large lead right now coming out of turn number 2 onto lap number 3. Terry Labonte clear into second. Dave Marcus there in third. Look at Darrell Waltrip in that 17. The Parts America Chevrolet trying to make his move. Lake Speed, Kyle Petty there, and oh, close right there. Speed almost into Darrell Waltrip. Kyle Petty right on his back bumper. Loy Allen, Johnny Benson Jr., and Dale Earnhardt all trying to make the move. Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, Dave Marcus, 1, 2, 3, starting to pull away, but Jeff Gordon, a very strong competitor at Daytona. Of course, the last years of trying, he finished second twice, third once. In the 1996 Daytona 500, he crashed out of it early. However, this 2014 coming back with a vengeance, really trying to win their first Daytona 500. Darrell Waltrip up to 4th, Ricky Craven now 5th, and it looks like the top 5, yes, they are going to get single filed out here at Daytona, and right now just an outside line push. The top 6 now get single file heading into the corner. Ricky Craven, Bill Elliott right behind Darrell Waltrip, leading that charge towards that front group of 6. Now here they go, coming off of the corner. They're starting to kind of single file out, but still staying strong in the draft. Dave Marcus now going to be shuffled out by Darrell Waltrip further back. And Darrell trying to make the move around Dave, not going to happen. Kyle Petty now clear into 7th, the top 6 starting to pull away. The Hendrick duo, Jeff Gordon and Terry Labonte, going to be the strongest two. Right now out in front, Hendrick has been very strong all speed weeks long. Now Jeff Gordon getting pushed by Terry Labonte. Darrell Waltrip gets shoved out alone. Bill Elliott with a huge move. Terry Labonte now is going to jump to the inside of Jeff. And that's for the race lead here. Dave Marcus is going to go with Terry. Coming off the corner, the top 6 pulled away. There's Kyle Petty, Lake Speed. Loy Allen Jr. is inside this top 10. Look at him up in 9th. Robbie Gordon 10th. John Andretti, Johnny Benson Jr. There's the 81 of Kenny Wallace, Ken Schrader, Dale Earnhardt, all in this mix. And now Terry Labonte on the inside of Jeff Gordon, side by side for the race lead. Dave Marcus is going to be right there with Bill Elliott trying to bring up that 94 McDonald's Ford right into the mix. And now Dave Marcus jumps to the inside. Kyle Petty as well in that 44, trying to bring the Petty family name back to another Daytona 500. 6 laps through this event, coming to lap 7 here. Terry Labonte now starting to edge around Jeff Gordon for the race lead. And he will clear that outside line, so Gordon's going to drop back. No help on that outside line. Dave Marcus on the inside, blocking Bill Elliott. Pretty far down he goes and blocks him. Now as you see, 3 wide, almost cutting the front bumper off there, was Dave Marcus. Down this front straightaway they go. Kyle Petty's going to go 3 wide, going into the corner. Jeff Burton goes around, big crash. Kyle Petty is in the outside wall. Petty in the wall. Terry Labonte, huge hit further back, but Labonte's going to be able to race them back around. Huge hit for the 44. Down the back straightaway, top 4 will be leading them back around. Labonte, Gordon, Marcus, and Robbie Gordon, your top number 4. They're going to be able to pull around, coming back, racing back to the start-finish line. Terry Labonte, it looks like, will lead them back around. Gordon makes no move to look to the inside, so Terry Labonte leads them back around. Let's go ahead and take a look. Kyle Petty's car destroyed as well. Bill Elliott has some damage in that 94 car. Darrell Waltrip as well. Lake Speed, that's going to be a heartbreak for him. Huge damage to that 9 car. Heavy front-end damage to the team. There, Steve Grissom. Ricky Craven, part of that Hendrick trio that was running very well early on. He has a very crunched-up car. That is a huge hit, and that's going to take a lot of those front runners out. Bill Elliott, Kyle Petty, Darrell Waltrip, Lake Speed, and Ricky Craven were all inside that top 15. And dang, that was a huge hit. And that's going to be 5 of these top guys getting out of there. So now some of those underdogs in the back could race their way into the 500. Bill Elliott now down pit road. Kyle Petty in the car. Huge, huge hit for that driver. And we'll see if there will be pit stops. Ricky Craven in that 25. Heavy damage. That's going to be a hefty build. Backup car for him. Lake Speed most likely as well. Darrell Waltrip as well. Ricky Craven. Heavy front, rear, and side damage that 25 team most likely will be out of the Daytona 500 unless they can get a provisional spot, one of the provisional spots. But on the other hand, the Hendrick duo of Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon leading us back around. Go ahead, take a flyby as they come off the corner, see where your favorite driver is running. There's Ricky Craven, Blake Speed, and Darrell Waltrip all pulling themselves down pit road. Let's go ahead and get a replay here with what happened to Kyle Petty. So they're going to head into the corner. They're going to go 3 wide right here. And now Ricky Craven, you see, he's in the middle. Kyle Petty on the bottom. And it looks like Petty's just going to get hooked right into the wall, almost head on in that 44 car. Huge hit there. Bill Elliott as well. Darrell Waltrip had nowhere to go, but Kyle Petty, his car is going to come to a rest on the very bottom of the track. Bill Elliott, heavy front-end damage, side damage to that 94, and Kyle Petty going to be out of this race and most likely out of the Daytona 500 with that. Let's go ahead and get an onboard with him now so we can see. The visor cam, almost 15 years early, but here we are on board Kyle Petty as they're all racing around him. Coming down the front straightaway, he's just going to get hooked, and watch the speed he hits the wall. 200 miles an hour almost head on into the outside wall. And Kyle Petty goes down to the bottom of the track, smoke billowing from that 44, so that will be his day done. He has been taken out of the track. He is going to a local hospital for further checkup in that 44 car. We'll go ahead and get a few more angles of this crash. First off, we will go on board now on the front bumper cam of Ricky Craven. As you see, Kyle Petty just right in front of him. Petty drops down to that inside. You see Darrell Waltrip coming on the outside, and they're just going to go 3 wide. They just merged together and hooked right into the wall. Huge hit, and everyone else kind of just moving around moving around Ricky Craven. Dale Sr. further back there, so a huge, giant hit there for Kyle Petty. We'll get one more angle. Let's see. Yeah. So we are under caution here in the Twin 125, the second Twin 125, after a huge hit collects Kyle Petty, Ricky Craven, Bill Elliott, Darrell Waltrip, and Lake Speed. 5 cars most likely going to be out of the running for this race. Let's go ahead and get you guys back to the green flag. Back to live action here at Daytona. Oh, shoot. There goes that. Good thing I had this as a replay. Okay, we were on lap 8. Minor technical difficulty. Alright, so we are going to be back racing here. Terry Labonte leading us back down. Let's go ahead. We will... God. I can't do. I keep forgetting replays don't do the same thing as races. Okay, so we... Okay, so we are going back green here. Terry Labonte will be leading us down with Jeff Gordon second, Dave Marcus third, fourth Robbie Gordon, and fifth Loy Allen Jr. In sixth is the 30 of Johnny Benson Jr., 7th Kenny Wallace, 8th Dale Earnhardt, 9th Morgan Shepherd, and 10th Hud Strickland, and 11th Michael Waltrip, 12th David Green, 13th John Andretti, 14th Chad Little, 15th Rusty Wallace, then Schrader, Grissom, Wally Dallenbach, Waltrip, and Elliott still out. No word on Kyle Petty's condition. Lake Speed and Ricky Craven have all retired from this race. We're going to come back green now. 11 laps into this event, going to be coming on lap 12. That will be a 9-lap dash to the finish. Huge move already by Benson and Wallace, but it will be Terry Labonte getting out into the race lead. Jeff Gordon second, Dave Marcus third, Robbie Gordon fourth, Loy Allen Jr. fifth, and Robbie Gordon in that 40 car already going to dive to the inside. Johnny Benson Jr. trying to get Dale Earnhardt to push him to the front. But the Hendrick duo of Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon now will take the race lead. Robbie Gordon in that 40, the Sabco number 40 moving himself up to third, trying to get clear. Dave Marcus coming off of the corner. Down the back straightaway they go, and you see this is how this is some fast racing 2x2x2x2. They're all now trying to get inside that top 14 spots. Jeff Gordon on the inside, Terry Labonte, and now Robbie Gordon's going to try to bring himself up and get there. Terry Labonte will be able to just get down in front of Robbie. And now Robbie into the third position. Dave Marcus fourth, side by side for fifth. That's Loy Allen Jr. and Johnny Benson Jr. side by side with Dale Earnhardt. Now the Intimidator, the man in black, has moved himself into the top 10. He's going to have to try to get the hunt right up to the race lead. Hut Strickland right behind him. Now it looks like these guys might drive a little bit more calmly because of what happened there. Kyle Petty sitting now in a hospital in the emergency room there after a very hard hit to that 44 car. Down the back straightaway going single file for the most part. Everyone just trying to hang on. You see Bill Elliott, Darrell Waltrip, the only two falling off of the pack because of that damage. Now Terry Labonte back to the inside. Dave Marcus, where did Dave Marcus come from in this 71 car in that Real Tree Camo 71? He's up to third. I don't know how old he was in 92, but I know this was nearing his he was nearing his retirement in 97. I think he retired, what, 2002? So this is near the end of Dave Marcus's career. He's up here, and look at Loy Allen Jr. just starting his career, and now he's up to fourth in the Twin 125. Kenny Wallace, big move on Johnny Andretti further back. Morgan Shepherd in that one car trying to race his way in. And now side by side for the race lead, Dave Marcus diving to the inside with Terry Labonte versus Jeff Gordon, the Hendrick duo. Back side by side here at the duel. Who's going to win it coming around to 6 laps to go? Dale Earnhardt in that 3 car. He is back there in that 6th position trying his hardest to get to the front. And you see a big move by him. Jumps himself back down to that inside line. Now pushing Loy Allen Jr. Trying to get them both around. Robbie Gordon. Johnny Benson Jr. now pushing him. And Kenny Wallace in that 81 going to shuffle out. Robbie Gordon now going to go down. Try to push Terry Labonte as Earnhardt leads that second pack charge with Loy Allen Jr. Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon side by side still for this race lead. And now Robbie Gordon on that inside line trying to move towards the front. You see the field, the top, I believe that is, what is this top pack? That is 13 cars right here are in this front pack with Michael Waltrip, so 14 right there. So basically, Steve Grissom, he is locked into the Daytona 500 due to starting second in Daytona 500 qualifying. So one of these drivers is going to make the 500. Chad Little, Rusty Wallace, Wally Dallenbach, and David Green will be the 4 drivers fighting it out, trying to make the Daytona 500 on time, on racing their way in. And now up front, it's starting to get heated again, but it is still Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon side by side. And there you see Robbie Gordon now going to push right up. Loy Allen Jr. in that 19 is still in this fight. Kenny Wallace as well. Dave Marcus, now Johnny Andretti jumps down to that inside line. And now Robbie Gordon, where is he going to go? He's going to push Terry Labonte right back. They are still side by side for the race lead. Who can do it? Gordon on the outside, Labonte on the inside, Robbie Gordon pushing both of them. Now Terry gets hung out on the outside again. But side by side, drag race to the line. That is Jeff Gordon's lap. Robbie Gordon, Dave Marcus, and now Loy Allen Jr. trying to get single filed out further back. Loy Allen is now going to have to deal with, look at these guys, Mike Wallace, Kenny Wallace, Johnny Benson Jr., even Morgan Shepherd in that number 1 car is in the fight to race his way into the Daytona 500. Ken Schrader and Johnny Benson Jr. also behind, but this pack of 13 cars is the fight. Pack of 12 cars, Michael Waltrip is the 13th. This is the fight for the win, basically. All 12 of these drivers will be in the Daytona 500 if they can survive these last 4 coming to 3 laps. But Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon still side by side drag racing down the front straightaway like they have the last 4 laps. Johnny Andretti now moving that 98 up into that 5th position. Loy Allen in that 7th position trying to go down and cut off Hut Strickland. But down the front straightaway they go. Gordon on the outside. He has Robbie pushing him, but neither driver has a big push. Now Dave Marcus is going to get shoved up there by Johnny Andretti, Kenny Wallace, and Loy Allen. But Gordon maintains that outside line. 13 cars right there. Here comes Johnny Andretti now. He's going to have Loy Allen Jr., and they're going up here for a battle for the win. Robbie Gordon now gets shuffled out. He's going to go 3 wide, but Labonte and Gordon remain side by side. Hut Strickland also trying to get in this mix. Morgan Shepherd could even win this if he can just drive hard enough. And now this time by it will be Terry Labonte, but Gordon maintains the outside line. Dave Marcus third, and we heard that there is Bill Elliott just making it through the corner, so I believe Awesome Bill from Dawsonville will be the deciding factor here in the race, depending on which line he goes up to block. But now the inside line trying to form up right around Gordon. A lot of cars jump to that inside line, but now Loy Allen jumps right back up to the outside. John Andretti, can that 98 car, no help on the inside, can he go up there, battle for that second position? No, he won't, but now Dave Marcus is going to push him. And Terry Labonte on that inside line trying to make the move stick. There is Bill Elliott. We're coming to the white flag. Which line will Bill block for this win? He blocks neither of them. Labonte way up the track, but he's going to be the one to jump out to this race lead. And now Bill Elliott goes up and blocks Jeff Gordon. Dave Marcus is going to get a run to the inside. You also see Kenny Wallace, Hut Strickland, Dale Earnhardt making the moves. And Jeff Gordon's race will go up in flames right there. But now Terry Labonte has all this time in the world just to drive away with this race. Dave Marcus back there in second. Hut Strickland third. Bill Elliott holding up the entire pack. All 12 of those drivers should still make the Daytona 500. Terry Labonte trying to just hang on. It's not going to happen. There is Dave Marcus being pushed by the rest of the field, coming around to the checkered flag, and it will be Texas. Terry Labonte, the Iceman, winning in the Twin 125, number 2. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now, Waltrip, and it will be between Rusty Wallace and Wally Dallenbach. Wally Dallenbach Jr. beats Rusty Wallace right at the line, and Dallenbach will be in the Daytona 500. David Green, he has nothing to fall back on. He is out of this. Chad Little as well, I believe, is out of this. Darrell Waltrip is in via the Champions Provisional, and Bill Elliott as well due to his qualifying time. But it is Texas, Terry Labonte winning, and Dave Marcus, the old man, being second, third, Hut Strickland, fourth, Kenny Wallace, and fifth, the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt. I will show you what the starting grid for Daytona looked like. And Daytona was a 47-minute race. If you guys really want to see that or not, I don't know right now. But it is. I will show you what the starting grid looks like for the Daytona 500. I believe the 5 drivers out were David Green and... Oh, there's me. Hi. Lake Speed started in the back. Ricky Craven as well started in the back. Mike Skinner, and that was on the front row. So there was that starting grid for the Daytona 500. Skinner and Grissom on row 1 with Marlin and Terry Labonte as they were the winners. In row 2, the 5 that were eliminated were Chad Little, David Green, David Green, Greg Sachs. No, Greg Sachs is right there. I'll go take a look at who failed to qualify for it. Hey, look, Buckshot. No, but let's see. Failed to qualify. Not Kenny Irwin. Not Jeff Green. Kyle Petty failed to qualify. The 44 was not able to run. Now the word is Kyle Petty has a concussion from head injury into the wall, and he does have a broken wrist from the wheel jerking on him once he hit the wall. So Kyle Petty will be out 6 to 8 races. And the question is who will be filling in for him? It is the fact that we're not trying to kill anyone yet, guys. that'll be for later seasons. But the 44 will be filled in by most likely a Busch or truck driver. It will have to be a realistic driver, and you guys can leave your feedback for that in the comments below. But Kyle Petty will be out 6 to 8 weeks, possibly more, depending on his injuries. So Kyle Petty was the first one to miss. Billy Standridge as well, he missed. Mike Wallace as well missed. David Green missed. And Chad Little was the last driver not in it. So, do you guys want to see the Daytona 500 right now? It is 47 minutes long. And, yeah, so, I mean, I can show it if you want. I'll just change the name of the stream to the Daytona 500 as well. However, that means the Daytona 500 will be before the Busch race, and I'm not sure unless you guys want to see the Busch race as well. I don't know. I'm gonna be getting off around 1:30 though, so like I don't know. We'll see. Oh, two. Hey, Butcher finally just subscribed. Busch Clash. No, not the Busch Clash. The Busch Race. These guys. Where are they? This one has not been shown yet. I think I'll do the Busch Clash instead. I'll do this race instead because I can't really do the Daytona 500 because I have some league race stuff happening. So if we do the Busch race will be 40 laps. So I don't know. And it's up to you guys. No. Okay, we'll do the Busch Clash or do the Busch Race. So let me change the title of it again. I don't know what the Busch Race's name was. 1997 Busch Daytona. What was the name of the race? Let me put that in the title of the video. It is the NASCAR Busch Series at Daytona. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Whatever. I'll just say Daytona Busch. Busch race, you say? Fitzy's a time traveler. He's already in 2019. Yes, he is. Alright, so let me fix some stuff up real quick here. I need to self a car. New, me, 100, save, yes. Make sure their ratings look right. You. Player info. Boom, boom. Done. Alright. So we will head to the Daytona race for the Busch race here at Daytona. 42 drivers in the field like always because we can't have 43. That's too much work on my end. So we will go ahead. Let's take a look at the starting grid for the Busch race. Speed that up. Mark Martin on pole for that. Oh, yeah, Mark Martin on pole for that one too. Jeff Green, Todd Bodine as well. So we will go ahead and get ready to go racing here at Daytona. Drivers to your cars. Mark Martin, and that is Jeff. And Jeff Green will start on row 1 with Todd Bodine and Tim Steele in row 2. Row 3 is Michael Waltrip and Wayne Grubb and Jimmy Spencer. Row 4, Michael Waltrip and Steve Park. And row 5, Jeff Burton and Randy LaJoy. So 42 drivers for 40 laps here at Daytona. Who's going to be able to win? Mark Martin started his Twin 125 earlier on Thursday with the pole, so now he's back on pole. Tim Steele, Logan Cloud's one of his favorite drivers. Poor Logan's going to miss Tim making some laps here in that Ford car. You also see in the back Johnny Chapman. There is Dale Jarrett in that 32, Glenn Allen Jr., Dennis Sensor, and the rest that I do not know half of these drivers, so that's going to be fun. They're going to be making their pace laps around the Daytona International Speedway. Who is your pick to win today at Daytona as they come down this back straightaway slowly at 70 miles an hour? We'll see who will be the race winner. It's going to be a clean and hopefully exciting 40 laps of racing. Mark Martin is going to try to win from the pole. 42 drivers, 40 laps. So really, everyone except 2 drivers could lead a lap in this race if this was the Daytona Shuffle. However, with the way this track is set up, it is hopefully looking good for you guys. So here we go. It will be Mark Martin leading us down. Let me check if there is a 77. There is a 77. Who is the 77? We'll go find the 77. If I can even find it. 77 is Ed Barrier. Makes sense. So here we are for the Daytona race here in the Busch race, coming down the front straightaway, getting ready to go green. Mark Martin and Jeff Green on row number 1 with Todd Bodine, Tim Steele row 2, Wayne Grubb and Jimmy Spencer in row 3, coming down to take the green flag. And we are racing here at Daytona. Green flag is in the air. Mark Martin will jump out to the early lead. And Martin really just gets off very well, rockets into the race lead. Now he is in right into the race lead up front here at Daytona. And Martin now will go down. Jeff Green clears into second, and they head into turn number 1. Already pushing on each other. Michael Waltrip spun in front of the field right away, down into Hermie Sadler, and we already have the big one on the first corner here at Daytona. Already cars torn up. Hermie Sadler's in it. There is Greg Sachs. Hermie Sadler's car destroyed as they all race back. Mark Martin leading them back around. Tim Steele has no one pushing him on the outside. And right away, the Busch race starts off with a bang. And Mark Martin leads us back around. That will be him picking up that lap lead. Hermie Sadler involved. Jay Foster involved. Michael Waltrip, Greg Sachs, Glenn Allen, Joe Bessie, Mark Green, Tim Fedewa, Jason Keller, Jeff Fuller, Mike Dillon, all involved. Heavy damage. Borda as well. So a huge impact right away to start this race. We'll go ahead and get a replay there to see what happened. Hermie Sadler's car destroyed. Reed the third destroyed. Let's go ahead and get a replay. What happened? So it started way up here early. Michael Waltrip in this 21 car is going to go ahead into the corner, and you see Jeff Burton is the one that dives to the inside on him. So Jeff already making a lot of moves, starting every race this season at Daytona already. And now Jeff Burton is going to get just into Michael Waltrip. Mikey's going to be sent down to the bottom of the track. Jeff Burton just pushes him around, and he's going to straighten it back up. He almost does straighten it up. He hits Randy LaJoy, but that's going to send him spinning once again. The 45 is going to run right into the side of him. 45 right up into the wall. Michael Waltrip back down, and Hermie Sadler's going to have nowhere to go, just piles right into him. Tim Fita was also going to get a piece of it. Hermie Sadler spins right back up in front of the Slim Jim 57 of Jason Keller. You see Joe Bessie, Mark Green, and Mike Dillon all involved there. Everyone just spinning down this back straightaway. A very big crash will take out a big amount of drivers right away. Okay, let's go ahead and get a actual timed clip of this. But this start already hectic. We'll bring you guys back to the green flag here after this big crash takes out a good portion of the field right away in the Busch race here at Daytona. So going back green here at Daytona, Mark Martin remains your race leader as the rest of the field goes around. Already the 97, Hermie Sadler, Michael Waltrip, the 45, and Bessie all retire from this race. So that's going to leave us with 37 drivers left in the field. Mark Martin looking to win this race and then hopefully win the Daytona 500. Along behind him, Jeff Green in second, Todd Bodine third, Jimmy Spencer fourth, Tim Steele fifth, sixth Wayne Grubb, seventh Steve Park, eighth Jeff Burton, ninth Ed Barrier, and 10th Hutke. Mark Martin's going to be leading us back around. Let's see, coming down out of turn number 4, who's going to be able to win here. Daytona, Mark Martin trying to maintain this race lead and trying to win from the pole. It could be done here, but it'll be definitely hard to figure out. Pace car is going to take a hard left-hand turn down the pit road. Coming back around to the race lead, Mark Martin bringing us back around. Lap 6 of 40. We are racing green flag back in the air here at Daytona. Martin with a huge jump on the field. Now let's see if we can actually make it through turn 1 without any incidents. You see a couple cars jumping down to the inside, but most of them staying single file, at least until they hit the corner down. Through the corner, it will be Mark Martin jumping out to a very big lead. Jeff Green now moving in second. In the third, Todd Bodine. The rest of the field going to be coming around here. Most of them single file. Coming down the back straightaway, just a line of cars staying single file right here at Daytona. So no one trying to make a move out of line. Tim Steele and Wayne Grubb will be the first ones to do so. Now Todd Bodine jumps to that inside as you see a flyby as they head down to turn number 3. A lot of damaged cars further back, but it is Mark Martin now. Todd Bodine in that 36, making a move to the inside. Tim Steele in that 4 now as well. Wayne Grubb, Jeff Burton trying to get down there. Mark Martin now gets shoved up by Todd Bodine, and Bodine's going to get his nose to the inside of Martin. Down the front straightaway they go. And into turn number 1, once again, the field starting to get kind of spread out here at Daytona. Jeff Burton back onto the apron, making it 3 wide again after he just spun out the driver of the 21, Michael Waltrip. Down the back straightaway they go as the field, again, is spreading out, but still everyone trying to stay in this draft to make their moves towards the front. Down the back straightaway, Jeff Burton on the inside. You see the 77 of Ed Barrier also making a move. Tim Steele now pushes Todd Bodine towards that race lead. Top 9 now staying 2x2. Top 11 or 12 starting to try to pull away and make themselves into the front pack here, but it will be Todd Bodine leading lap number 7 here at Daytona. We now have 33 laps to go here at the big World's Center of Racing as they go into turn 1. Jeff Burton now gets shuffled 3 wide. Ed Barrier all the way to the bottom of him in that 77, and the 78 of Butke with, I believe that is Tony Stewart in that 44. No, that's Bobby Labonte in the 44, my mistake. But now it is Todd Bodine out in front. The field staying single file further back, trying to just catch themselves up. Now Ed Barrier is going to be sent 4 wide with Jeff Burton. The 77 of Butke. They make contact. Barrier into the wall. Wayne Grubb hits him. And big crash once again here at Daytona coming out of the corner. Everyone trying to dive down to the inside. Huge hit there for Barrier. Huge hit for Randy LaJoie as they come off of the corner. Another large pile up here at Daytona. Todd Bodine in the race lead. Second is now the 4 of Tim Steele. Third, Mark Martin. Fourth, Jeff Burton. Fifth, David Green. And what an impact that was. Mike McLaughlin in that 34 damaged the 2 of Ricky Craven after he took another hard hit at the Daytona race in the duels, as well as Elton Sawyer and Ed Barrier also involved, and Randy LaJoie. So that's some very big incidents there here at Daytona. We'll go ahead and see. Does everyone... Of course, they still stack it up like that. What idiots. But, oh, huge impact there. We'll go ahead and take a replay of that. Ricky Craven, that's 2 cars he's destroyed today. And that was 2 big hits, so that'll be big in there. We'll go ahead and see if anyone will dive it down pit road, and we'll get you guys back to the replay than the live action. But oh my gosh, very hard hit there for Ricky Craven and Randy LaJoie. Let's hope everyone is okay in that crash. Kyle Petty already out with an injury, sidelined for the first 8 or 9 races of the season. No word on who will be replacing him yet, but now you will see pit stops underway coming here on lap 9 down the front straightaway. They're going down, and now Todd Bodine in that 36 car leads us down with Tim Steele second, Mark Martin third, Jeff Burton fourth, Jeff Green in fifth. And here they come down pit road. Everyone going to come down to the attention of their crews. Let's see who will be the first one out of pit road here. It looks like 4 tires and fuel would be the way to go. This might be the one pit stop these guys will need. I believe the pit window's around 22, 23 laps, but this race has already been a bit of a crash fest. Mark Martin on to pit road. You see a lot of drivers will be bringing themselves out. I don't know where the commitment line is, but a lot of cars already coming back out. Tim Steele will be the first one. No! Martin just beats him off pit road. I don't know. There's everyone else coming off pit road. A lot of cars. Todd Bodine stayed on pit road. Bobby Labonte, some contact as well with the other drivers. They all kind of stack it up getting down there. Good thing they didn't run into each other. A lot of drivers. Glenn Allen Jr. and Jeff Fuller get together. Dale Jarrett's going to be dropping all the way to the back again, but we will go ahead, rack them and stack them, all these guys back up. Uh-oh. Kevin LePage. But we will go ahead, get you guys back to that replay to see what happened there. Huge hit there. Their Dennis sensor as well with damage in that 43. We'll go ahead and see what happened to bring out this caution here at Daytona. So these guys, I don't know what they were thinking, but they're going to go in 4 wide into the corner. You see Butke goes down to the bottom of barrier. They're going to go 4 wide. Barrier gets pushed down by Jeff Burton, so that's 2 big wrecks Jeff has caused. Up to the wall, Wayne Grubb gets turned. Ed Barrier hits hard off of him. Oh, Elton Sawyer hits a huge hit on Ed Barrier, so Barrier hopefully will be able to get out of that car. Let's go ahead back and see what happened to everyone else. Get a better angle of this crash as well. So Barrier just coming down the back straightaway. Butke goes 4 wide down to the inside. They go through the corner. The 77 is going to get up there and gets turned right into the wall. Wayne Grubb gets hit. Huge hit there for him. Then coming back down. Thankfully, that is on the back of the car, but he gets launched across the track by Elton Sawyer and back down. End of the day for that 77 car. Let's go ahead and look at the other drivers in this wreck. There's Wayne Grubb. So Wayne Grubb on the outside, he's just going to get clipped by that 77, sent into the outside wall. Mike McLaughlin hits Ricky Craven as well, then back down the track. Oh, that is driver's side impact for Ricky Craven and Randy LaJoie. That might be Ricky Craven out of the Daytona 500 there. We'll hope that he is not. I believe he should be okay. It did not hit driver's side, it hit the front of the car, so hopefully that'll be what we'll be looking for to see if he will be in the Daytona 500. There's the 34, Mike McLaughlin, also very slow, blowing up. But another angle of this. Let's go on board now with Ricky. And he's on the inside of Matt Kenseth. You see they going through the corner. They're already just going to get turned right there. It's a big crash. They all dive to the inside. McLaughlin gets hit. They're going to go right into the outside wall. He comes back down. Randy LaJoie hits him in the front. Let's hope Craven will be okay, or at least not seriously injured, but he does stop it on the track, so him and Randy LaJoie both could be out after this. Go on board now with LaJoie. That's not LaJoie. There's Randy. So Randy was pretty far off the back of the pack. Those guys are just going to spin around in front of him. A big crash up front. Comes back down. McLaughlin and Craven hit. And now here they come. Ed Barrier's car destroyed. Great job by Randy LaJoie trying to get out of the driver's door of the 2 car. But I believe Craven has been taken to a local hospital as well with Ed Barrier, Randy LaJoie, and whoever hit Ed. Elton Sawyer. All of those drivers will be going to the infield, a few into the infield care center and a few to the to a local hospital down here. Where is Ed Barrier? There's Ed. But yes, a very, very vicious crash here at Daytona is going to take out some major drivers and some major drivers from their cars. A huge hit for Barrier. Huge hit for McLaughlin, huge hit for Craven, and for Randy LaJoie. A lot of drivers going to be taken to a local hospital. We'll go ahead after this red flag, get you guys back to the green flag here in Daytona. So we are going to be going back green. Tim Steele leads, Mark Martin second, Jeff Burton third, Jeff Green fourth, and Kevin LePage fifth. In sixth, Jimmy Spencer. Seventh is now Elliott Sadler. Eighth, Todd Bodine. Ninth, Steve Park. And 10th, Dick Trickle. Tim Steele, what a job this could be if he was able to win here at Daytona. What an underdog performance he could get here at Daytona. That'd be something big if this 4 team could win, but he does have to fight off 2 of the Roush drivers that are in Cup. That is Mark Martin and Jeff Burton, second and third. Jeff Green, fourth. Kevin LePage, fifth. Let's hope Kevin LePage does not LePage the field. So Tim Steele going to be leading us down. We are going back green on lap 12 of 40, so we still have about 28 laps to go in this Daytona race, and still a very large portion of the field in this. Now, Tim Steele leading us around. Mark Martin second, with Jeff Burton third, Jeff Green fourth, Kevin LePage fifth, Jimmy Spencer, Elliott Sadler, Todd Bodine, Steve Park, and Dick Trickle, your top 10. Coming down the front straightaway, it will be the 4 of Tim Steele leading us down, and we are back racing here at Daytona. And Jeff Burton diving already to the inside. Burton, he better watch himself. He's already been part of 2 cautions, looking like Ricky Stenhouse at the 2018 Daytona Coca-Cola 600 there. Hope Shade is still here to hear that. Jeff Burton now getting the push from Jeff Green on the inside as Tim Steele trying to pull away here at Daytona. Jimmy Spencer clear into 5th. Elliott Sadler now making a move on Kevin LePage for 6th. But down the back straightaway they go. All the drivers starting to get back up to speed. What will happen? Will they be able to stay calm, or will they continue to just create a wreckfest here at Daytona? There goes the 4. Tim Steele goes down to block Jeff Burton. And now Jimmy Spencer in that 20, the Zippo lighter number 20, looking for a move towards the front. Elliott Sadler as well, Kevin LePage, Steve Bark, Todd Bodine all in this battle. Further back, there's the 10 car of Phil Parsons with that channel lock 10. And there goes Kevin LePage across the field. And a lot of cars. This is going to be another big one here at Daytona as the Busch Series continues to take out drivers. Oh, and back across the field, Bobby Labonte right back up. Tim Fedowa flipping. And this has just become a crash fest here at Daytona in this Busch Series race. And wow, we're going to have no drivers left for the end of this race. Jeff Burton down to the inside on Tim Steele. Going around, there you see Mark Martin, Jimmy Spencer. And coming off, we are not even halfway through, but Jeff Burton now will be taking the race lead away. That will be Jeff Burton's race right there. Cars on pit road, Tim Fedowa, Bobby Labonte. A lot of cars. There is Mike Dillon in the 83, Wayne Grubb, Glenn Allen Jr., the 78 of Butke, the 00 of Buckshot Jones, the 11 of Foster, also Kevin LePage, Dennis Setzer, S. Reeves, 57 of Jason Keller. Tim Fedowa had a hard hit. Terry Labonte is in this race, I didn't realize. But a lot of drivers torn up, and this might be the shortest field we've ever seen in a race up to this point. So we'll go ahead and get a few replays of what happened, as we are not even halfway through this race. And all these drivers just being destroyed. We'll go ahead and get a few replays of this action. God, the Mountain Dew Custom Series race here is going to be hell. You guys are all going to be dead. I'll make a few more adjustments. But coming through the corner, Kevin LePage. LePage is the field with Steve Park. And coming down through the corner, you see LePage is just going to get turned by Park. And he's going to go right back across the field. Park saves it on the inside. Elliott Sadler gets up and bounces into the wall. A lot of drivers trying to avoid him. Hit the wall here. And there you see the 10, Phil Parsons sliding. He's going to run right into the side of Todd Bodine. And through the corner, they all go. Buckshot Jones runs into the back of Terry Labonte. Butke's spinning further back here. And just a smoke screen as cars are just spinning around here. There's Buckshot Jones into them. The 94, the 84, all piling in. And further back, it looks like everyone further back makes it through, but a lot of cars spinning around here. What happened now with Bobby Labonte? Watch, he's going to come back up the field, back up the track, flying through the grass, and he's just going to lose it coming up there. Right, Jason Keller nowhere to go. Tim Fedowa goes flipping wildly. A lot of cars go head-on. Big hits there, so we'll go ahead and take a few onboards to make sure these drivers are okay, and we'll get you guys back to the green flag. Just on board with Tim Fedowa. Let's get ready for this ride here at Daytona that he is about to take. You see this big pack of cars? They're all trying to get through the smoke screen. You see it's just smoke up in front of them, and they're all going to get past it, but you see the dirt up there. The 44 is going to slide right back up the track into Fedowa. He gets flipped around, but it looks like he is okay. He has been seen walking out of the infield care center in that 33 car, but he does say he is sore very hard from those few hits. We'll go on board with Jason Keller, because I believe the only big crashes here are pretty much the guys that just got destroyed by Bobby Labonte. Everyone else kind of just slid their way on in, but a crash fest already here at the Busch race. Go on board now with Jason Keller. Bobby Labonte, he just flies back up. Keller nowhere to go. There's Fidoa flipping. And he gets hit once again. I don't know who that was by. That was by the 5 of Terry Labonte. So a lot of cars in this wreck, but everyone being checked and released from the infield care center as we speak. A good sign from that. So a huge multi-car crash, 3 crashes, 3 big ones early on in this event. We will go ahead and show you guys the final replay of this crash before we go back green. But a lot of cars just spinning around right there here at Daytona. We'll get you guys back to the green flag here shortly if I can find Bobby Labonte. Yeah, we will get you guys back to the green flag here at Daytona. Holy shit. We are going to be going back green with Tim Steele up front, Mark Martin second, Jeff Burton third, Jimmy Spencer fourth, Jeff Green fifth, Steve Park in sixth, Johnny Chapman up to seventh. In eighth is Porter, ninth Dale Jarrett, and 10th Ron Barfield. 11th Mark Green, 12th Tracy Leslie, 13th Jeff Fuller, 14th Elliott Sadler, 15th Shane Hall, 16th Phil Parsons, 17th Dick Trickle, 18th Todd Bodine, 19th Hutke, and 10th and 20th Dennis Setzer. 20 cars left in this field, 1 car a lap down. That is Dennis Setzer in that 43 car. Everyone else has been checked and released from the infield care center that was in that crash. Tim Fidoa is being taken to a local hospital just for further checkup, but no big injuries there for him. We still have no word on Ed Barrier, Randy LaJoy, Mike McLaughlin, and the other one. So Tim Steele out in front, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, Jimmy Spencer, and Jeff Green, your top 5. Who's going to win? We still have over half of the race done left to race. We only have 21 laps to go next time by. Tim Steele looking to win his first career NASCAR race. Mark Martin, Jeff Burton out in front, coming around to the green flag, and we are back racing. Green flag is back in the air here at Daytona. Tim Steele out in front. Martin and Burton now going to be side by side behind them. There is the 43 of, what was it? Who is he? Dennis Setzer in that 43 going to be slowing up the field. But now with only 20 cars left in this race, can we actually see a good race to the finish between these few drivers? Coming around, 20 cars in this field. We still have 21 laps to go next time by. Down the back straightaway, the small field getting back up to speed here at Daytona. Only a few cars can win this race now. The ones that don't have damage. Mark Martin dives back to the inside on Tim Steele. Now Jimmy Spencer trying to get that 20 car up into the top 5. Or up into the top battle. Steve Park there in that 3. There is the 89. Look at Johnny Chapman. He started this race in the 41st position. This is his first race he could possibly get a top 10 in. What a star job he is doing in that 89 Sherwin-Williams paints Ford. Down the front straightaway, Mark Martin out in front. Second, Tim Steele. Jimmy Spencer and Steve Park further behind. Jeff Green and Jeff Burton going to be your top 6 racing here at Daytona as Dennis Setzer drops to the back. There is Johnny Chapman 7th and 8th. Ron Barfield 9th. Elliott Sadler. And 10th is Shane Hall. There is Tracy Leslie in that 63. He's working to the inside. Dale Jarrett in that 32. He's also there. The 10 of Phil Parsons. Everyone just trying to survive to the end of this race. Hope that everyone is okay. The top 6, though, are the drivers that will most likely be the battle for the win in this race. Mark Martin maintaining the race lead. Tim Steele 2nd. Steve Park in 3rd. What could Steve Park do? He's been brought into the DEI ride this season by Dale Earnhardt himself, and now the number 3 in the Busch Series, trying to win this race. He's going to bring himself up to the 2nd position with the 8 of Jeff Green battling for 3rd with Tim Steele. Still 20 laps to go. What is going to happen? Steve Park now diving to the inside. He's going to have Jeff Green pushing down the back straightaway. Jeff Burton in 5th and 6th. Jimmy Spencer, and you see it's a very far gap back to Elliott Sadler in 7th and the rest of the field. These are all pretty much underdogs back here or damaged cars, so this could just be a 6-car battle for the win. If so, there are a lot of drivers looking for their first. Steve Park and Tim Steele, both looking for their first career win in the Busch Series. Elliott Sadler trying to work with Dennis Sensor to get up to that front pack, and you see a 4-car battle that is Shane Hall, Ron Barfield, Tracy Leslie, and Johnny Chapman nose to tail here, trying to move themselves back into that front battle. Further back is Dale Jarrett, Phil Parsons, Dick Trickle, Butke, then the 5 of Rodney Porter, and that is Mark Green, Todd Bodine, and Jeff Fuller, the rest of the drivers in this race. Steve Park now in the race lead over Mark Martin. And now Tim Steele trying to block both lines. Steve Park out in front. Who's going to win here at Daytona Park? Trying to win for DEI. Martin trying to win for Roush. I think that's Morgan McClure in the 14. But Mark Martin now jumps to the inside on Steve Park. Tim Steele bringing that 4 right back up. You see the 20 of Jimmy Spencer, the 9 of Jeff Burton. Also moving up this field. Down the back straightaway, 6 cars. Any of these 6 drivers can win it. Any of these 6 drivers have the car to win it, but they do need the draft to get up there and go for it. 6 cars, and we still have 17 to go for the battle for the win. Elliott Sadler now around Dennis Sensor, but he really needs some drafting help if he wants to get up there and win. A caution would be great right now for these guys that are further back, but that means these guys would probably have to crash themselves. Green, Foster, and Bodine all trying to run back here. Bodine started second in this race, and right now that Stanley car still surviving even after a lot of beat-ups. Jeff Fuller in that 47 is right now the last driver field. 6 cars in this battle. Tim Steele back up to second. Let's go ahead. I guess we can go through the field here. Mark Martin, he's been driving in NASCAR since back in 1981, but still no Daytona 500. Though this is the Busch race, this is helping him practice on blocking for the race lead. He started on pole for 2 of the 3 races he's competed in this season so far in Speed Weeks, and right now he is trying to win this race from the pole. Tim Steele in second, very successful in the ARCA series, but coming into NASCAR, he just hasn't had much speed in all of his starts. Right now he is up here in that second position. He's led a few laps here, trying to bring it home for Morgan McClure. Jimmy Spencer in third. He is in the Daytona 500 due to provisionals, but right now he's up in the 3rd position here in the Busch race. Still has a chance to win, and if he does, that would be a feel-good story for everyone in that garage. Jeff Burton in 4th has been involved in 2 crashes already. On the start, he took it 3 wide and crashed out half the field with Michael Waltrip. And on the second crash that took out a lot of drivers, sent a few to the hospital, he was also one of the drivers making it 4 wide. Can Jeff win it? I don't know. These fans would probably start a riot if you could just wreck your way to the race victory. Back in 5th is that 8 car of Jeff Green. He is in the Daytona 500 as well. In that, no, he isn't. He's not in the Daytona 500. But the 8 team right now, he's up in the 5th position. He's been up here all day long, and only 6 cars left. He just has to beat 5 others. And the DEI car of Steve Park in that number 3 AC Delco Chevrolet. He's trying to hang on. He's dropped all the way back to 6th, but that might just be good if he could just mount a charge up to the front with some of these guys. It's going to be very hard to dethrone that Roush Yates engine, Ford Power, up in front. There's the slowest car on the field, Jeff Fuller. He is at the back of the pack, but he is only into turn number 3. Out in front is Mark Martin. As the fans, they have been complaining about leeches the last few years in the Busch Series, and though these guys can still run for the championship. Mark trying to go win a championship, trying to win the Busch Championship this year. That 60 team. 6 cars are the battle. I don't think anyone will be able to dethrone the top 2. Tim Steele would have to get a very big charge from Jeff Burton further back. And those 2, Martin and Burton, are both Roush engines. But in the Busch clash, it was Jeff Burton pushing Ward Burton past his teammate Mark Martin for the win. Will Jeff do the same thing and betray the Roush teammate to win this race? Back there in 6, Jimmy Spencer now starting to lose some time. You see the second pack, Elliott Sadler, Shane Hall, Tracy Leslie, Butke, Sensor, Chapman, Barfield, Parsons, Dale Jarrett, Dick Trickle, all in this battle. This would be the place to see if there's a crash, and we may as well take a look at these slower cars back here, get them some TV time so they can earn some sponsorship. Elliott Sadler up there in 7th. He's the driver that's going to have to lead the charge, but you see it's already a full straightaway back from the race leaders. These guys are going to have to try hard to try to get up there. You see Butke and Leslie now battle for that 8th position. Dennis Setzer, he was running very well in that 43 Lance Snacks car until that crash, and now he is set 1 lap down. He's trying to work his way towards the front, trying to get his lap back. Phil Parsons as well, one of the starters of that crash. He used some damage on the left side of that 10 car. He's going to have to fight that all race long. Ron Barfield in that 94, Dale Jarrett, Dick Trickle. There's the 3-car slower pack of Foster, Green, and Bodine. Up in front now, it is the Roush teammates, Martin and Burton out in front. Jeff Green, he's going to have no help down the pack straightaway. Everyone abandons him, but I believe he will still have enough room, and that he does to get around Jeff Burton. Tim Steele drops back to that 5th position. He's going to have to bring that 4 right back up to push that 8 to the victory. We still have 11 laps to go here at Daytona. We'll go ahead and go to a commercial break. We'll go on board here with Tim Steele as they race. We'll get you guys back to the action here shortly with some commentary to close out this Daytona race. And there's the move that Tim Steele needed. Jeff Green's going to push Steele around Mark Martin, going for the race lead. Tim Steele to the lead here at Daytona in the closing laps, coming around to 9 laps to go. And now Jeff Green dives all the way to the inside. Tim Steele will get out to the race lead, and this 14 looking to win the race. Here at Daytona, he has taken the lead with Jeff Green's help. Jimmy Spencer in that 20 trying to push him up. Can Mark Martin, these guys, these Smurfs in the field, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, and Jimmy Spencer, all 3 of them, Cup drivers running full-time this season, trying to beat the 3 Busch drivers that are in this race right now. And you see there is Jeff Fuller. He's gaining, but they are gaining, but not by much. Still hitting 200 down the back straightaway, 183 in the corner. It's about a 17-mile-per-hour difference. Mark Martin now has dropped all the way back on that outside line. The top 3, top 4 now pulling away, and now the Roush cars are going to have to fight their way back up through. The question is now, who has saved enough fuel? Who has the tires to the end? The equipment, the fuel strategy might be the end here, and Mark Martin might be the one losing it. He was out in front a lot, and these guys behind them could have been saving some fuel with him. It's a 6-car battle for this race win, which could be cut up by Tim Steele in that by Jeff Fuller in that 47. The top 6 right now: Tim Steele, Jeff Green, Jimmy Spencer, Steve Park, Mark Martin, and Jeff Burton. There is Jeff Fuller. It looks like they're actually going to be able to dive to the inside of him here. And they will. Jeff Green will be held up, though. Tim Steele jumps out to the lead. Now Tim Steele holds up, and now Jeff Fuller holding up the rest of them. Tim Steele's going to be all alone out there, and that's not what you want. You're at a drafting track like this. Jeff Green and Mark Martin now going to be the 2 held up. Jimmy Spencer, Steve Park, and Jeff Burton now bringing that inside line right up to the front. Mark Martin in that 60, he dives down to the inside, and now he's going to be able to get around. Jeff Green as well will be the last one down to the inside if he can get there around Jeff Fuller. Fuller's going to throw the block, so Jeff not very happy with Green right now, and now Green's going to have to go to the outside to get it done around him. That's going to lose Jeff Green probably this race. Steve Park now moving himself up into 2nd with Jimmy Spencer 3rd, Jeff Burton 4th, Mark Martin 5th. They're all going to be having a hard charge, huge draft momentum, catching Tim Steele. As we're coming down to 6 laps to go here at Daytona. Tim Steele right now a sitting duck. Fuller out in front, right there, all of them, nose to tail further back. Jeff Green right there in that 6th position. And you see that pack of cars now, they're kind of starting to stay single filed out a bit more, just trying to catch up. There is not enough time for that. And there you see, there is 3 cars right there, nose to tail, and they are a full straightaway ahead of the front pack, so that's good right there. Tim Steele maintaining the race lead. Steve Park there in second, and now Steve Park is going to be able to make the move down to the inside on the 4 car. They are starting to battle here in the closing laps, coming to 5 to go. Steve Park will take the race lead for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Tim Steele gets shuffled up the top, and Jeff Burton with Mark Martin now challenging in that second line. Jimmy Spencer trying to push now. Only 2 of the Busch veterans staying in here. Steve Park and Jeff Fuller. The other 3 all are Cup leeches. Mark Martin diving all the way to the inside of Jeff Burton, and Martin wants to go back up and maintain and take this race lead away. He's going to have Jimmy Spencer pushing him to try to do it. Coming around, it'll be 4 to go. Steve Park got out to a very big lead, but you know those DEI engines at super speedways are nothing to mess with. The 60 team there with Mark Martin now moving into that second position. Jimmy Spencer. Jeff Green is also back at the back of this pack. He could push someone new up there, and Tim Steele now is going to be shuffled all the way out as now the Roush 2 get right up there into second and third, trying to catch Steve Park. They could easily just push right past Park with all this momentum that these Roush teams have. And now Mark Martin is going to make the move in. Jeff Burton goes with him. The Roush teammates down to the inside. Jimmy Spencer is going to be right behind him, and Jeff Green and Tim Steele are going to be behind him. Steve Park now dropping all the way back, and the Roush duo of Martin and Burton push their way back to the race lead. Martin was able to hold on for long. The question is, will the pit stops come into play? Jeff Green all the way 3 wide down to the inside on Jimmy Spencer. Tim Steele trying everything he can in that 4 car. Steve Park is going to get himself back down there. There is the 3 car pack. Todd Bodine, Mark Green, and I keep forgetting who that is. Rodney Porter. The top 6 now starting to get nose to tail. Mark Martin back out in front. It's going to be a miracle for these guys not to gang up, or to gang up and beat him. And now Steve Park, he's going to have Jeff Green and Tim Steele, the Busch regulars, the Busch drivers fighting for the championship. They are now going to be nose to tail, coming up on Mark Martin if they can. Jeff Burton now pushes Steve Park, and Jeff Green will be hung out on the outside. We're coming down to 2 laps to go here at Daytona. Can Steve Park upset Mark Martin? Martin started on the pole. He's had the car to beat all race long. He held the lead for a very long amount. Steve Park in that 3 car trying to win for Dale down the front straightaway. Coming around to 2 laps to go. Will the fuel last? Jeff Green all the way to the inside. He's trying to help Tim Steele get up there. Now Jimmy Spencer pushes him. Jeff Burton, the Roush teammate to Mark Martin, is not going to be there anymore to help him. Jimmy Spencer and Jeff Burton battling for that 5th position. Steve Park all over the back of Martin. Jeff Green and Tim Steele now. Can the Busch regulars push their way around Mark Martin? Coming down the back straightaway, we're going to get the white flag right here, and it looks like the lap traffic will be the deciding factor here as Mark Martin continues to maintain this race lead. There's the lap traffic. They are now getting side by side. Will they catch them in a lap? The top 4 now are pulling away from Spencer and Burton. Those 2 now have gotten themselves single filed out. Coming around, the white flag is in the air for Mark Martin. Top 4 stay single file. Lap traffic they are catching. Steve Park, Jeff Green, Tim Fuller, any of them could use a win to propel themselves into the championship hunt. Mark Martin out in front. Steve Park, Jeff Green, they're going to have to make the move to the inside of Mark Green. Mark Green is going to shove them all the way to the inside. Mark Martin will clear them. Todd Bodine goes down and blocks them. Can they get the charge? The lap traffic holding them up. Steve Park and Jeff Green will have to make the dive here. No! Mark Martin is going to come across the line and win the Busch race here at Daytona. Going across the line further back, I don't know where they all are. They are still battling coming out of turn number 4, so looks like the 85 is going to be the first one leading them back. And down the front straightaway. Hey, Logan Cloud, you just missed Tim Steele getting 4th in his first Daytona start. But it is Mark Martin winning, Steve Park 2nd. The lap cars screw him up, and the Cup regular will take home the victory here at Daytona. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking out for a few hours. We'll be heading in later. Go check out Peter for that Qualcomm, and Mark Martin, your race winner over Steve Park. The statuses of those drivers who were damaged who were injured in those two crashes will be up later. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.